Hello and welcome to another inspiring edition of Diaspora Network, where we celebrate Nigerians making remarkable strides around the world. I'm Tenyola Oyetayo. On today's program, we turn our focus to community participation and the role of Nigerians in the diaspora. We'll be highlighting the work of Abigail Katun, the Lord Mayor of Leeds in the United Kingdom. As the first African woman to hold this position in the city, she speaks to us about her journey and aspirations. But first, let's get up to speed on the latest news from the diaspora.
Kelechi Ndukwe, an American man of Nigerian descent, has recently been promoted to Navy captain from lieutenant commander in the United States. This comes 3 years after he became the first Nigerian American to command a US warship in 2021. Born to Nigerian parents, Ndukwe moved to the United States at a young age. His father worked 3 jobs while studying engineering at West Virginia University in the 1970s. During his 20-year career, Kelechi has served in numerous posts, including the Mediterranean Sea, the Horn of Africa, Arabian Gulf, Western Pacific Ocean, and South America. His personal awards include the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Marine Corps Commendation Medal, as well as the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal. Previously speaking about his long-standing career, the captain shared that he is blessed with the opportunity to lead and inspire the youth, and that it has been a driving force for him. On September the 5th, Time magazine revealed their biannual list recognising the 100 most influential people in artificial intelligence. In the thinkers category was computer scientist Nigerian-American Chinasa Akolu, who is currently a fellow at the Brookings Institution, focused on AI governance and policy in the Global South. She was recognised for her determination to mitigate lower economically developed countries being left behind technologically. She has already contributed to passages in the International Scientific Report on the safety of advanced AI, the African Union's strategy for responsible AI adoption, and Nigeria's national AI strategy. Following the announcement, Chinasa met the other notable speakers to discuss the broader impact of AI at the Time 100 Impact Dinner panel. Okolu says that through this work and discussion, she is optimistic that AI can help fuel socio-economic development that has been much needed in Africa for the past 50 years. UK-based artist Yinka Ilori is making waves in the art and fashion worlds. The self-proclaimed ambassador of joy teamed up with fashion and outdoor wear brand The North Face, releasing a collection of streetwear. Fusing his British and Nigerian influences, he reimagines some of the brand's most iconic styles through his playful prints and bold colour blocking. He says that working with The North Face also reignited his own affinity for the brand, dating back to his childhood, which was largely spent in the great outdoors, further emphasising the brand's philosophy, never stop exploring. Ilori expressed that flowers, which remain a theme in his work, are a symbol of love and a sign of kindness. Therefore, he wants to share this with everyone he can. Meanwhile, Ilori also transformed the Sotheby Auction House Cafe, creating a limited edition piece in collaboration with 1882 Ceramics as part of his latest exhibition titled Paces That Build Their Dreams. This pays tribute to the diverse creative talents that have made London their home, celebrating the city's dynamic and inclusive community. Drawing inspiration from his friends and family, the ceramic trophy features an illustration of his council estate growing up, as well as a dove which symbolises the peace of mind and accomplishment that immigrants long for when they integrate into a new culture. The exhibition will be up until October the 31st. The Andrean Shipchenko Art Gallery in Paris is holding its first solo exhibition for British-Nigerian artist Ranti Bam under the title How Do We Hold Our Stories? The 42-year-old sculptor is known for her terracotta pieces featuring colourful patterns and designs, holding connections to physical and spiritual sustenance. Her work also extends to film and photography, which is featured in the exhibition. She says her passion for ceramic art was sparked after visiting the African Remix exhibit in London, which was like opening her third eye. Her passion has taken her around the world, with her works featuring in exhibits in Berlin, Miami, Lagos, Dakar and London. Her next venture will be an upcoming residency at the Black Rock Senegal in early 2025. Simon Pusey with your Diaspora Network News Wrap in London.
Community participation is crucial for building inclusive and representative societies, and Nigerians in the diaspora are stepping up to this responsibility in remarkable ways. In our special report this week, we shine a spotlight on the inspiring contributions of former and current Nigerian mayors in the United Kingdom.
Following the increase in the rate of migration and the growing diversity and multiculturalism in the diaspora, many Nigerians are carving a positive niche for themselves outside the shores of the country. While some are first and second generation citizens of other countries, many others born and raised in Nigeria eventually relocate and become distinguished leaders in major sectors and cities around the world.
The NDP presided over the decline of Canada's wealthiest and most prosperous province, the heartbeat of Canada's free enterprise economy, and the place that has created unprecedented opportunity and prosperity for people from all over the world. Albertans don't want a handout, they want a hand up. Throughout our history, whenever we have been challenged, we have ever answered that call. Let's create the conditions Albertans need to succeed, then get out of the way. In the words of another of my heroes, President Ronald Reagan, there are no greater limits to growth because there are no limits of human intelligence, imagination, and wonder. Albertans are down, but not out. Along with my colleagues, I vow to restore the Alberta advantage for my constituents and for all Albertans. But I will need the help of this assembly to get that job done. We as legislators are embarking on one of the greatest projects in our province's history, fixing the economy of this province, an economy that once made dreams come true, but an economy right now in crisis. Madam Speaker, I myself have been blessed to have lived the Alberta dream, a dream I would not have thought possible at the beginning of my life. My journey to this historic building did not begin last month or even last year, but many years ago on a remote family farm in southeast Nigeria called the Igbos of Nigeria. I was born just a few years after the devastating Nigeria Civil War, otherwise known as the Biafran War.
And their monumental achievement is a testament to talent, dedication, resilience, and commitment to public service.
I'm honored to bring forward this bill today, which will offer parents the opportunity to have their newborns tested for congenital cytomegalovirus, or CMV, the most common non-genetic cause of permanent hearing loss in children, as part of their regular newborn hearing screening.
In the area of community service, many Nigerians in the diaspora have contested for the office of the mayor and emerged winners, dedicating their service to the general welfare of the cities they find themselves.
We had a majority in this house, but not in the other place, where they whipped Labour lords to vote.
Some of the responsibilities involve policy making, vetoing legislation, law enforcement, and many more. In addition to reflecting the rich potential of Nigerians to excel as phenomenal leaders, it also signifies a beacon of hope for the Nigerian diaspora and the broader African community, as well as strengthening diplomatic and cultural ties between countries. Daniel Adewale King was elected mayor of Gravesham in May this year, becoming the first black man to assume the office. Michael Situ also served as mayor of Southwark from 2023 to 2024. He moved to the UK from Nigeria in the early 1990s. Born in Osun State, he has several degrees in law and is passionate about growth and development. Adedamola Aminu is another Nigerian whose exploits is engraving Nigeria's name in gold. 27 years after he migrated to the United Kingdom as a Grade 2 teacher, he was elected as the mayor of London Borough of Lambeth, owing to his determination to change his community for the better. Prior to becoming the #1 citizen in the borough, he served as school governor, councillor, and deputy mayor.
I got involved when I was, looking for secondary school for my son because I couldn't find good schools then. And I realized that, okay, the first thing to do is to actually be a school governor so that I'll be able to influence policy at schools level, work with the teachers, head teachers to make sure, the standard improve. And that time I've already I joined the Labour Party. So, attending meetings, council meetings, and I realized, okay, at this meeting, they decide how much tax we pay, how much council tax we pay, service charge, rent, budget for schools, social services, housing, and so on and so forth. And I said, okay, all these things actually affect us as a citizen, as a resident of the borough, wherever we live. So for us, if we are not part of people who are actually, working to influence that policy, it might work against us. Because sometimes the need of the ethnic minority differ from other nationalities. So it's for us to actually let them know our culture, our needs, and so on and so forth. And that is why we need to get involved.
In June 2021, Uduemu Adejimi was elected as Catholic of the Longford Municipal District, marking a series of firsts for the county, being the first migrant, first African, and first black female to become mayor. Her journey to politics began in 2016, and in 2018 she undertook an internship with the Immigrant Council of Ireland, shadowing Joe Flaherty while he was a local councillor. In 2020, Mr. Flaherty became a member of parliament, and Ms. Adejimi was co-opted to his seat. Ms. Adejimi took over as mayor following a unanimous election. These and many more Nigerians have weathered the storm and excelled in the diaspora, and many of them advocate people-oriented politics and a more transparent leadership back home in Nigeria.
And now let's turn our focus to our guest today, Abigail Katun, who made history as the first African woman to be elected as Lord Mayor in Leeds in the United Kingdom.
Nigerian-British politician Abigail Katun's journey began in Zaria, Kaduna State, northwest Nigeria, where she graduated with a bachelor's degree in business education from the Ahmadu Bello University. Subsequently, she moved to the UK to pursue a postgraduate degree in development studies at the University of Leeds in the year 2000. Her father, who was a dedicated educator and profound influence in her life, instilled in her the ethos of education for service. Upon arriving in the UK, she encountered some challenges such as adapting to a new culture, cuisine, and climate. However, resilience prevailed and Leeds became a second home to her. Her first political office was in 2019 when she was elected as ward representative following the Leeds City Council elections. In 2023, she was re-elected into the same office. In May this year, she took over from Al Garthwaite to become the city's 130th Lord Mayor and the first person of African descent to hold the position. Within the council, she's taken on various leadership roles, including Scrutiny Board Chair. Beyond politics, she is an avid athlete and coach, specializing in sprinting, and serves as the governor at Leeds City College. She's a trustee of Age UK, Caring Together, and co-chair David Oluwale Memorial Association. Her dedication to Leeds is evident in her commitment to fostering diversity and inclusion within the city. Her appointment as Lord Mayor has been widely celebrated in the city's African community and is a shining example of the enormous contribution international students make in the diaspora.
When we return, Lord Mayor Abigail Katun speaks to us about her journey into politics, her work with the Leeds community, and her advice for aspiring leaders in the diaspora. Please stay with us. Joining us on Diaspora Network now is Lord Mayor of Leeds, Abigail Katun. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Firstly, congratulations on being the first African elected as Lord Mayor in Leeds. Speak to us about the moment the announcement was made and what it meant for you.
Wow. Honestly, for me, I felt a tremendous sense of responsibility, a sense of pride, a sense of gratitude to the city of Leeds and to all elected members who actually voted to elect me. And I tell you, I am still in awe of the decision and I still can't believe that I am.
And how have you found your time as Lord Mayor so far?
So far, 3 months into my term, I must say it has just been a great time representing. People around the city have been so welcoming. They have been so kind, I must say, especially the spark when you see little children, especially when you see little colored girls and they're just trying to touch your chain, asking you questions. How did you become this and how did you get there? For me, that is just priceless. So I must say, so far, so good. It's been truly, truly rewarding.
And I know you've chosen the Leeds Community Foundation as your charity for the year. Speak to us about that and the main changes you hope to make during your time as Lord Mayor, especially in terms of, I also want to look at supporting other immigrants in the community.
Yes, I must say, Leeds Community Foundation just ticked almost every box for me when it came to the causes that are really very close to my heart. So just before I got elected, really huge thanks to the Secretary to the Lord Mayor. I sat down with her and I kind of told her the causes that I was close to, and she kind of made some recommendations, and Leeds Community Foundation was one of them. Now, food poverty was one of the causes really close to my heart, fighting health inequalities, digital inclusion. Those were the things that were priority for me. And we found out that with Leeds Community Foundation, they are a funding body. And what they do, they reach out and fund smaller charities in the city who are actually fighting health inequalities, digital inclusion, and food poverty. So for me, I could see myself helping Leeds Community Foundation in raising funds that will get down to those charities. So instead of just choosing the one charity, I could actually work with Leeds Community Foundation and make sure that every other organization dealing and who are involved with the things that are close to my heart, like what I have just mentioned, some funding can get through to them via the LCF. Now, when I said to you about the causes that are close to my heart, I spoke about health inequalities. I spoke about poverty. Now, lots of times in our city, when we look at the data and we look at the index, a lot of people who are suffering from these disparities are people from ethnic minority backgrounds, okay? COVID and the pandemic clearly amplified the sufferings and the disparity that we see between the rich and the poor. And sadly, the inequalities that we face today in the country, huge chunk of the people in that category are from ethnic minority backgrounds, of which there are a good chunk of Nigerians that fall into that category. So for me, where I can make a difference in terms of helping with funds to reach out and intervene in those communities, it's what I am passionate about, and making sure that we bridge the gap when it comes to the disparities that we face.
And just hearing you talk, you seem to have always had an interest in politics and just serving others in general. Looking at your years growing up in Nigeria, what would you say sparked that or influenced you?
I think it started from being the first girl of the family and being a Girls Brigade girl. I joined the Girls Brigade when I was 5 years old, and I remember the motto of the Girls Brigade till today, which says the aim of the Girls Brigade is to help girls become followers of our Lord Jesus Christ through reverence, self-control, and a sense of responsibility so that we could find true enrichment of life. And that stayed with me, over 40 years now. And my late father used to always teach me that you educate to serve. So obviously I joined the Girls Brigade because of my mother. I saw my mom serve. I saw my mom responsible for so many people in the family and the community. And for me, as a first girl, I just took on that leadership mantle, and I just continued. And there's just so much joy in serving people. When you're blessed, you don't fold your arms, you open them.
And just looking at your journey, going to uni, your life in general, and looking at where you are now, what are some of the challenges you faced along the way, and how would you say you've overcome them?
Well, you will always find challenges in leadership. And I always say it's all about communication. It's all about resilience. If you think you're going to serve without any challenges in your life, then that shows you that you're not working. And I always say, when you're doing the right thing and you're fighting the cause, you will always get these hitbacks. But for me, my resilience has kept me going. As a girl born in Nigeria, that's one thing I know we were trained to do. You know, you build up your resilience. When you get knocked down, you get up and you keep fighting. You know, you don't sit there and moan. And I always say each day, problems would always come. Before me, I have always focused on the solutions. I have always made sure that I am not on my own. I have other people who mentor me, who I can run to when the times are hard and say, how can I navigate this? But one thing I do not easily do is I do not easily give up. I would always give it a try and give it my best. So always learning. I always say to people, for me, I have always tried to learn to make sure that whatever it is I am taking on, I've got good enough knowledge in it. And if I do not have good enough knowledge in it, I will make sure I find somebody who does, who can help me go through it.
I mean, just hearing you speak, you're obviously still deeply connected with your Nigerian roots. Speak to us about that and how you hope to continue to promote that relationship on an even wider scale.
Yeah, well, obviously, I am very connected with my Nigerian roots because you have to remember, I came to England as an adult. So I had my first degree in Nigeria. I still have family. I still have friends in Nigeria. My husband is serving, and we have a foundation called the Abigail Katun Foundation. My husband and myself are very, very passionate about education, and for me, especially education of the girl child. And because I believe if people are educated, if a girl is educated, you will navigate and find your feet in life, just like me and you. You know, our education has brought us to where we are, and both of us are now in the diaspora. So the foundation reaches out primarily to orphans and to widows. So for us, we are trying to reach out to those that would love to be, but circumstances due to death and breadwinners in their family has made them not to be able to progress. So we give lots of scholarships to a lot of orphans, making sure that they're able to go through university. We also have a few students who were able to also see them through with international scholarships as well in other countries and not just Nigeria. So those are the kind of interventions that I am particularly connected to with the work that we do back home with widows and orphans.
And just on a final note, what advice would you give to other Nigerians in the diaspora who aspire to excel in their chosen fields?
Well, I would say, especially with Nigerians in diaspora, never stop learning. Make sure wherever you find yourself, you abide by the laws that are governed in the country that you have decided to live in, and always make sure you are good ambassadors of your country. Yes, we do have some bad fruits, but a good number of us in diaspora are making an impact where we are and giving our home countries a very good name. So I will tell lots of diasporans, we have the opportunity to thrive. All we need is to make sure we put in hard work, we put in resilience, and we put in the best of what we are when it comes to delivering at every single task that we have been bestowed to do. So I would say never give up, always expect the unexpected, but hard work and determination will be the key to your success.
All right then, Lord Mayor Abigail Katun, thank you so much for your time on the program.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And that wraps up another exciting edition of Diaspora Network. Remember, you can find more stories of Nigerians making their mark on the global stage on our YouTube channel and website, channelstv.com. Until next time, I'm Teniola Oyetayo. Bye for now.